A strike by Starbucks employees expanded to some 5,000 baristas nationwide today.
No contract! No coffee! No contract! No coffee!
Their union says the walkout shut nearly 300 stores across 45 states. Starbucks says fewer than 200 stores were affected. Workers say they're protesting unfair labor practices, like retaliatory firings and cuts to hours. They also called out the company's recent wage offer, which one employee called insulting.
It's not enough to support any person living by themselves, let alone the Starbucks barista or shift supervisors who have 1, 2, 3 kids to put food on the table for. They don't have enough money to support their families.
Starbucks said yesterday the strike had had no significant impact on its operations. The employees say they'll go back to work tomorrow morning. The man accused of burning a woman to death in the New York City subway appeared in court today. The suspect was charged with 3 counts of murder and arson at the Brooklyn Criminal Court. He faces a maximum sentence of life in prison. Federal officials say the 33-year-old Guatemalan migrant set the sleeping woman's clothes on fire on Sunday. The crime has sparked new worries about safety on New York's transit system, even as officials note that crime is down from last year. Turning overseas to Sudan, famine conditions are spreading as the country's ongoing civil war shows no signs of letting up. That's according to the Integrated Food Security Organization, IPC. The Global Monitoring Group says 5 areas are affected, including the country's largest displacement camp, Zamzam, in the North Darfur province, where some 400,000 people live. The IPC also says 5 other areas in North Darfur are expected to experience famine conditions in the next 6 months. UN experts say the biggest challenge is getting aid to people in need.
It is unacceptable in a world like today where there's so much prosperity that you are seeing people dying of hunger. This should never be happening in today. We need the violence to stop so people can access food, water, health, nutrition, and agriculture.
The UN says more than 24,000 people have died during 20 months of fighting in Sudan, and 14 million people have been forced from their homes. That's about 30% of the population. Swiss Olympic snowboarder Sophie Hedegaard has died in an avalanche at a mountain resort. The country's skiing federation says the incident happened yesterday at the Arosa Resort in Switzerland. The 26-year-old competed at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics in the women's snowboard cross and the mixed team version of the same event. And a NASA spacecraft is attempting to fly closer to the sun's surface than ever before. The Parker Solar Probe will endure blistering temperatures and extreme radiation as it passes within 4 million miles of the sun. That's nearly 7 times closer than any previous missions. Scientists won't know whether the probe survived its fiery flyby for another few days. But if all goes according to plan, the probe will keep circling the sun through at least September, providing a better understanding of how the sun actually works.